First day on a new job up here in what I call northern Missouri. We're in a little place called Farley, Leavenworth, Kansas, right across the river. This is the river bottom. Right here is the river bottom. Of course, this is the hills where we're logging at. Some fairly steep terrain compared to what we're used to. These are long, sloping hills. There's some stuff back here that's pretty steep. That's why we've got a cable machine instead of the grapple. Some pretty good timber, some really good sized timber. Not much room to make a deck area. We've got to get the cat up here to clear out an area here so we can deck logs and get the trucks in. We'll come in right there off the road to the trucks, I'd say, and try to load up right here. All that through there is got to be cut as well. We're cutting everything here. Some really good walnut, really good oak, big sycamore and cottonwood. Just a lot of good, big timber. A lot better quality stuff than what we're used to cutting in southwest Missouri. So, here we go. Now there's already an existing road kind of going up through the draw here, the hollow, whatever you want to call it. So we're just opening it back up, and we're going to use it as our log road. And that'll kind of give you an idea. Some of the timber that's in here, that's a pretty good walnut there. Pretty good walnut. Tall, they grow good in these draws here. Of course, here's the thing with northern Missouri compared to where I'm from in southwest Missouri. Dirt, black dirt. We have none of that home. The only black dirt we have is in the river bottoms. These hills up here are nothing but dirt, where most of our ground at home's limestone, which it does grow some good walnut, and we have a lot of it, but it's just not near the quality. The quality of timber up here is, there's no comparison between up here in northern Missouri and back home in southwest Missouri. But we're trying to plan accordingly how we're going to cut this. We're probably going to go all the way to the back here and start and try to work our way forward. It's hard not to cut that one right now. I'm fighting the urge not to cut it. I probably am going to cut it right now, just because I can't help but not to cut that tree. But a lot of good timber up through here, and you guys that do filming or YouTube or stuff like that, you'll know the camera never really does these hills any justice. That's steep. It doesn't look that steep, but that's steep. That's a pretty good incline right there. Pretty good incline. That's a pretty good walnut tree right there too. A lot of good timber. Happy to have this job. I first started looking at this job in June of 2015. We just now got it kind of locked up earlier this year, but when the vegetation was on, I didn't want to cut it. So that's why we waited till fall, because in the summertime you can't see anything in here. It's just a jungle. But I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this. I can't resist. Things are happening now. Kind of late in the day. We didn't cut near as many as I wanted to, but we get all the boundary lines and property lines and layout all discussed with the landowner and the neighboring landowners, so we're good to run full tilt now. I did manage to cut a few today. Some big trees, that one especially. The skidder's spinning a little. Yeah, I think so. You cut off? Yeah. I'm pretty sure I got it cut off. Yeah. It's just big. Come on, little girl. That John Deere skidder's got a Gearmatic 19 winch on it. And it was on there when we got it. And it's been a good winch. Let me get the sun out of your eyes there. I mean, it's a strong winch. You can see her kind of pulling the old 540 there a little bit. Need to chain up. Have to lock it in. Man, trains, there's been, you can kind of see the train down there rolling through in the background. I can't even tell you how many trains. I guarantee in 1 hour I counted 5 that went through. I'll have to get off here and look at this. Okay, we're back to try it again. We were kind of hung on that little tree there. We cut into it, that way it'd just kind of break over and keep going. I probably should have cut that one prong off, but I was trying to salvage what I could out of it. I think we'll salvage some once we get on the deck and work it up. Yeah, good trees. Some size to them. We'll try to get out what we got cut today. It's getting later in the day, but all we got to do is work or go to the old hotel motel. And I'd just soon work as long as we could. And down they go. That Y crotch there really worried me when I cut that tree, because those things land just right on those Y crotches. They'll bust those things out. I've seen them old walnut trees bust all the way to the stump before and they hit wrong. Luckily, the top, it fell kind of down in this little ditch here, and that helped a lot on the percussion of the tree. It didn't bust anything out even in the top there, where I was able to save those 2 ugly pieces. But you know what, still, as far as I'm concerned, that's if they bring $20, that's $20 we didn't have. So if we cut it, I want to get everything we can out of it. Real good hackberry here to cut. A walnut there, that's a good walnut. It leans hard. It'll be a hard tree to cut. Some sycamore. Just a lot of timber here. Just a lot of big timber. It's going to be, some of it will be pretty slow going, just because we'll have to have a good battle plan when we cut it. A lot of big chinkapin oak up these draws here. Of course, this big one I cut earlier today, we'll try to get it here in just a second. We'll go up here to it. It's been a minute or two since I hooked any chokers to actually drag logs. I've been on that grapple skidder so long. Another good piece of wood. I really think this will be a fun job to cut. Just kind of a break from the normal. Change of scenery. Just kind of looking forward to it. I don't care much for staying on the road anymore. That part of the job's kind of lost its luster to me. I like being at home every night. I like being at home with Tipsy. I'd like to take Tipsy with me, and sometimes I do, but I feel bad because I can't let her run around when we're working, because Lord knows what kind of mischief she'd get into. And it's not fair to her to have to be shut up in the truck or chained or tied up by the truck all day, so I just leave her at home. But on the next trip here, we're going to get this chinkapin I cut. Like I said, you can see that thing. I bored it out, clipped the spurs, and I mean, that's a humdinger of a tree there, and she really jumped off the stump. Really jumped off the stump quite a ways. And I know we'll have some guys, well, why didn't you hinge cut it? I don't hinge cut a lot of trees, guys. I really don't. Every now and then I'll use a hinge, but for the most part, I like to bore them and clip spurs. That's how I like to cut them. That's how I like to do it. I like my stumps to be clean, especially on this good quality timber. I don't like the fiber pull. Cutting walnut, I've seen guys that hinge cut these walnut and always got a lot of fiber pull in the stumps, and have them on good trees. And I'm not the type of person that would ever tell somebody that they're doing something wrong, because you know what? 2 + 2 = 4, but 3 + 1 = 4. So I mean, everybody's got a different way of doing something to get the same result. I personally, and the way I was taught, I just don't like to see the fiber pull of my good log, especially my walnut. I like for those stumps and butts to be clean. And like I said, I'm not saying somebody else is doing it wrong, and who's to say they don't think I'm doing it wrong? I mean, as long as you're getting them down safely and efficiently and getting them out and going home alive every night is Is there really a wrong way to do it? I mean, I don't think so. It's just a matter of opinion and how guys like to do their work. That's the way I look at it. But I hear that old B model roaring up through here. So we're gonna back in there, and I've actually got a walnut right there, and I've got that one there, but we're short on deck room. So I think we're just gonna bring this one out because we need to bring the skid steer up here and clean out on the deck, kind of make a place to stage logs, and we're gonna have to buck them and kind of pile them up as we go, because we're limited on room, and that's one of the challenges of this job here is room limitability. Let me talk there. All right, here he comes, and I'm gonna get in here and see if I can't get these chokers hooked up. All right, got hung up on that little sapling there, so cut into it to try to winch it on over. That is a humdinger of a log. Good piece of wood there. We're going to walk down right behind it, follow this one out. Stay back there. That sun is bright. Have to cut that off.